Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. This is episode number 813 of the Immigration Answer Show. How's everybody doing? What's going on in your neck of the woods? How are we doing? Today is, I don't know, what is it? April 17th? Is that right? Yeah. Today is April 17th. We'll be here for the next hour trying to answer as many of your immigration law related questions as I can. Happy Thursday. Hope you all are having a good week. I'm going to go ahead and say hello to a lot of our friends in the comments. We got Tyrone is here. Arnaud is here. Deborah, hello. Trudy, hello. Erica, Kush, Hope checking in from FLA. Andy is giving everyone their good wishes. Rini says hello. Searing is here. Joanna's checking in from St. Kitts. We got Dami up in Montreal. Hopefully it's not snowing. Umaru is here from Yuma. Dami's going to take a week and a half off for Easter and the break. How about that? All right. Marge Higgs is here. Titanic Love. Dami's going to visit their partner. How about that? Natalie is here. Hello, Whistleen. Good luck. Hello to all the Yardies. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to talk to Arj. Hello, Arj.
Hello, Jim. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Good. Thank you so much for hosting this show. This is amazing. Thank you so much.
Sure.
So just to give you a little bit of my background, I'm a green card holder with a 2-year conditional green card based on marriage. My wife is a US citizen by birth, and I'm a citizen of India. And my conditional green card expires on September 16th this year. And I'll be filing the I-751 removal of conditions on June 18th. That's my earliest filing date. Now, I have a family emergency because of which I need to travel back to India immediately. And I want to talk to you about that. I don't have any criminal history or convictions. I do not have any visa overstays. I came into the country legally on a F1 visa in 2015. And the only things I do have are a traffic ticket. It was a failure to obey a traffic control device in 2018 in Florida, and I paid a fine of $159 for that. I also have a speeding violation from New Mexico in 2018 that I paid $100 for, and I have a state park rules violation, first offense from 2019 in Florida, which I paid $80 for. And
What
I've
was that one?
disclosed all of this.
What was that one?
State park rules violation, first offense.
I don't know what that is. What happened?
So when I entered the state park, there was a box where you put in some fee, like $5 before you enter the state park. It was based on the honor system, and I entered the state park without putting the fees first. I thought I would put it in on my way out of the state park, and inside the state park there was a park ranger who caught me and said that you should have paid before you entered the park.
Okay.
And
So
I
what's the
paid
question?
$80. So the question is it safe for me to travel to India with these traffic related citations and the state park rule violation?
So
I've specified.
okay, hold on. I made a video on this. I don't want to answer this question over and over on the show. Green card holders should not travel outside the United States unless they can afford to stay out for 6 months if the government doesn't let them back in. That's my position.
I see. Okay. So it's kind of a family emergency. My dad was just diagnosed with cancer last week, and he needs to get surgery done.
I'm sorry to
And
hear that.
yeah, so it's a really tricky situation for me.
I understand, and 99% chance that you come and go, no problem. But I can't guarantee that it's going to be okay. I wish you good luck, and good luck to your dad.
All right.
Yeah, ready. We're not going to answer the travel questions. Robert's right. Just like we have a rule about affidavit supports. People want to call up so that I tell them it's okay to go out travel, and I'm not going to do that. So Omar is here. We're going to go to Omar, then George. George, you got to turn your camera off, though. Hello, Omar.
Hi, how you doing?
Omar, you got to turn your camera off, too.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right. How you doing?
Good.
Okay, so basically, I have a question. I'll give you my background as well. Uh, I'm a U.S. citizen. I applied for my dad's green card back in 2018. He got the green card in 2019 as an IR5, and when he came, he's been here since 2020, and he applied for his 3 children on an FX2, so they were all under 21 at the time. And one of them, when they received their green cards, all of them, they received it back in 2023, so a little more than 2 years ago. And one of them, when he received his green card, was 12 years old. So on his green card, on the bottom right, there is no fingerprint. Now he's 14. Do I have to get the fingerprints? If yes, then what do you think I should do?
You're talking about because of the registration requirement or because of the green card requirement?
Both. I mean, I just came to know that there is something called, oh, if you have your 14th birthday in the United States, then and you receive your green card prior to your 14th birthday, and your green card expires after your 16th birthday, then there's something you have to get fingerprinted because the other two brothers, they were above 14, they have fingerprints on their green cards, but this one says fingerprint not available.
But when does his green card expire?
Uh, 2033.
So I would worry about it then.
Oh, okay. Okay, perfect, perfect. Okay, and okay, thank you for that question. And this new rule about registration, do you think that's something that applies to my little brother?
No, he has a
One,
green card.
okay, perfect, perfect. Okay, so okay, perfect. I'm trying to see if there's another question before I cut the call. Okay, perfect. And then after 2033, when he applies for citizenship, and then that's when he gets new fingerprints, right? Because he never got one back in the
Yep.
embassy. Okay, perfect. And the other remaining two, last question, other remaining two brothers, they do have fingerprint icons on their green cards. They don't have to worry about that either, right? Because they already have it done in the embassy overseas.
Yep.
All right, perfect. All right, that's pretty much what I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Omar. All right. We're going to go to George next. But first, Donna reminds us that today is Holy Thursday. Holy Thursday, when I was Catholic, was one of my favorite feast days. I loved when the priest would reenact washing of the feet. I thought that's such a Jesus move. You know, if you think about 12 men walking around Jerusalem and Bethlehem with sandals on, what humility it took for Jesus to wash people's feet. And boy, do I wish we saw such humility from our religious leaders these days. But yes, Holy Thursday. Donna's going to have already had her bun and cheese. I remember the bun and cheese from last year too, Nurse Laura. That was fun. So happy Holy Thursday to everyone. Of course, tomorrow's Good Friday, and Easter is on Sunday. So congratulations to everybody who didn't eat meat and followed the rules of Lent. I hope you all have a great holiday. We're going to go over to my mom and dad, my dad's not here anymore, my mom's, for a little brunch on Sunday. And then I have to go to DC for an asylum interview. Let's say hi to George. Hello, George.
Hi, Jim. Can you hear me?
Go for it, brother. I got you.
I talked to you last year, and I really appreciated what you gave me advice for last year, but I got married and I have an immigrant wife, and we filed all the paperwork and whatnot. But it seems like that our marriage has gone south, and I believe that she's really in it for fraudulent intentions. I signed land over to her. I got her a job making $80,000 a year. She doesn't contribute into the house. She sends all her money to Kenya. I have no access to any of her records. And we don't sleep together anymore. And that was systematic. She's now become a roommate. And I don't know what to do.
I'm very sorry that you're going through this. So right now she has a conditional 2-year green card?
No, she has nothing.
Oh, you haven't filed
here,
for her?
Right. She was here on asylum. Then
Okay.
I met her. We got married. I filed the I-30 and then all the other forms, 864, everything. And no, she doesn't have any green card or anything. We're waiting for an interview. But Jim, I can't go to an interview and honestly say that this is my wife.
Right. So as a U.S. citizen, you have the right to withdraw the I-130 petition that you filed for her.
Okay, let me ask you this question. What are the implications to that?
Well, did she withdraw her asylum case?
I don't think so.
So then she's in the same position she would have been before you guys got married.
Okay, now I believe that she's in this marriage for ill intentions. That doesn't bode well for her with USCIS, does it?
Well, your beliefs about her intentions don't mean jack squat.
What about that? What if I prove things?
Well, so I don't really help people mess with other people's immigration status. So that's
Okay.
not something I'd be able to comment on. As
Okay.
I mentioned, you have the right to withdraw the I-130, and people do it with a blaze of glory with mean letters, making all kinds of accusations. But that's not something I would help with.
No. I understand. I understand.
But if you withdraw the I-130, then the green card case is over.
Okay. And she's back on asylum.
Mm-hmm. The green card can't be approved if there's not an underlying petition, the I-130.
Okay. But there's no severe penalty for her.
Well, I mean, you're talking about like criminal stuff?
No. Meaning that they wouldn't even hear her asylum case.
Well, okay. So if they believed that she filed a fraudulent marriage-based case, then that would prevent her from getting any immigration benefit, including asylum. But that's a huge finding. Even letters from a mad spouse withdrawing the I-130, I don't think would be enough to carry the day to keep her from being able to get to asylum.
What about all the financial aspects?
What do you mean?
I signed land over to her. I made her beneficiary on everything, gave her life insurance.
Yeah, so you need to see a divorce attorney about that.
Okay. Understood. I appreciate your help, Jim.
Sorry, George. Good luck, brother.
Thanks. Take care.
Yep. H&M says, just withdraw your I-130, brother, and let her have her life. Be careful the next time. Thinking too much about it will only hurt you more. I think that's right. I mean, if I'm George, I would probably, and I know that he's upset and hurt and feels like he's gotten taken advantage of. I get all that. I would just withdraw the I-130 and let the chips fall where they may. Good luck, George. All right. Not sure if Hina's doing TikTok-y questions. Do we have TikTok-y questions from Hina? Looks like we do. Hina on the case, TikTok Thursday. Istanbul says, I got my green card through marriage, and my judge, he closed the asylum case after I got the green card. Is there any problem when I apply for the I-751 or citizenship? No problem, other than the fact that you need to make sure there's nothing in the asylum case that was false, fraudulent, or misleading. I love that phrase, false, fraudulent, or misleading. That's in all the questions. So as long as everything in the asylum case was truthful, and as long as you don't go back to your country, I think you should be fine. User 216-39408. Is there a time frame to submit an asylum petition after being admitted? Yes, you're supposed to file within 1 year of arrival. You can file later if there's a change in circumstances back in your home country, or if you've maintained your status. But the best course of action is to file for asylum within 1 year, 365 days of arrival. Favor asks, I came with the B1 visa and annotation was on my boss's name. I don't know what that means. What can I do to change my status? When can I get married if I came with the B1 visa? In theory, you could get married after 60 days, but this is a tricky situation. I don't know that I would just file it willy-nilly. Anton says, any thoughts why F2A is not moving on the U.S. visa bulletin? Actually, it is moving. It moved last month, and I think it will continue to move. As I've mentioned before, under Trump last time, it was the only time F2A ever got current in my experience as an immigration lawyer. So I actually think, Anton, that will start speeding up, and the delay is not too bad right now. Chris is here. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, brother. How you doing?
I'm all good, sir. So happy to be on your show. I always watch your show. All right.
Thanks for watching.
So let me give you a little back history of what's going on with me. I came here on a B2 visa back in 2018. My ex-wife, she booked my ticket, came here, we got married. We filed I-130, I-45. We did everything by ourselves, but we didn't completely understand what was going on. So we went to the interview. We didn't have enough evidence. They denied my 485. They denied my I-130. And right through then, he took a real shipwreck on me and my wife. She cheated on me. I caught her, and, pretty much our marriage was over. She asked for a divorce. She got the divorce. Went my separate ways. However, started dating, found a new wife. And during that process, the same day I got married to my second wife, I got a letter in the mail, NTA, notice to appear, saying that immigration had put me in immigration court. Right there and then we had to get a lawyer. So we got a lawyer. He recommended that we file for prosecutorial discretion. Did I say that right?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we did file for it, and I was granted PD. And, he said that it's time to address the case before USCIS, which we did. But through it there, my second wife, again, we had a child together. And during that, I don't know what happened. Just a lot of mishaps and problems. We started fighting a lot. And we did an I-130, which we got approved. And now we have a pending 485. But during then, my lawyer said that, okay, since you've been asking for divorce for the longest, you can go ahead and not get a divorce while the I-485 is pending.
Who told you that?
My lawyer.
Did he tell you that the case would be over if you got divorced?
No.
Okay. What's the question?
Was that a good move?
No, that was a terrible move. It's a terrible move if you want to get a green card based on that. If you're divorced, they can't, unless your spouse is willing to come to USCIS and say, yeah, this is real. You have lots of problems. Number one, where did you come from?
Jamaica. I came on a B2 visa.
Number two, with the first marriage, did USCIS say that they thought that the first marriage was fake?
No, they said we didn't have enough evidence. The evidence was inconclusive. It wasn't a sham.
If they came and knocked on your first wife's door and said, hey, what's the deal with Chris? Was this a real marriage? What would she say?
She probably said it was a piece of ass, but yeah, it was real.
Yeah, so I think you're in trouble. You're on marriage number 2 that hasn't lasted. Neither one got you an immigration benefit. The I-130 should be revoked now that you're divorced. So I don't know what your long-term plan is.
So it's a possible chance that my I-485 can get denied.
No, they're holding your 45 because they're waiting for you to get divorced from this person.
The divorce is finalized.
Huh?
The divorce has been finalized January of this year.
Yeah. So you need to notify USCIS of that.
He's saying that after I get a green card and go for citizenship.
That's called fraud. There's been a material change in circumstances. The I-130 was approved based on an intact marriage. That marriage is no longer intact. If they give you a green card, you're screwed because you didn't tell them about your divorce.
Oh, wow. And I already got a work permit and everything.
That doesn't mean anything.
So my question is, what's for plan B? Is it that I should get remarried again, or,
I don't know, brother. You're coming to look pretty desperate now if you file a green card based on marriage number 3. It looks like somebody who just came from Jamaica and marries whoever he can to get a green card, and that he can't maintain his composure long enough and gets in these fights with these U.S. citizens. So if number 3 files for you, they're just going to wait. I think pretty soon you're going back to deportation court.
I think it was expensive to get out of.
Good luck, Chris.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out. You keep applying through the same thing. It's just not going to work, I don't think. Deborah is here. Hello, Deborah.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm good. I kind of have a long-winded question. So I'm the U.S. person. My fiance is from Nigeria. We've been in a relationship a couple years almost, and we're just wondering of the 2 processes, the K1 or I-130, which one would you recommend and why?
Is there an age gap?
Yes, that's my second part of my question. There is an age gap. And I'm just wondering, with the age gap and stuff that I've been seeing online, what are the other information would you think I would need other than what's on the application, and how likely will it be approved?
So how much of an age gap?
29.
29 years?
Mm-hmm.
How did you meet this fellow?
We met online a couple years ago, and I've been there to visit. And that's how we met.
How many times?
I went once, and I'm going again in June.
Okay, so when you went the first time, how long did you stay?
First time a week. This time I'm going to stay a little over 2.5.
2.5 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
How old is this fellow?
36.
Has he ever applied for a visa to the United States before?
No.
You sure?
Well, I can only go by what he said, but he is never.
Has he ever been married before?
Nope.
So they think he's only marrying you to get a green card, right?
We talked about that, yeah.
you know that's what the embassy is going to think. I think the chances of him coming on a marriage base or on a fiance case, I say 0% chance. On a marriage based case, I say 5 to 10% chance. I don't think they're going to give him a visa.
Really?
No, they think every man from Nigeria is a scheming, lying person, and
Right.
they think they're taking advantage when they marry women that are almost 30 years older than them. They think they're just taking advantage of them.
Mm-hmm. Huh. So, with that being said, what are the other options then?
That's it. Those are the only.
That's
I mean,
it.
don't waste your time with the fiance case. If you're going back in June, maybe get married on this trip, or go back in December and get married then. I think 3 weeks together before getting married, when the 30-year age gap, they're going to think that's nuts. So I don't think this is going to happen.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. Good luck, Deborah.
Bye.
God love her. Sounds like a lovely person. Let's go to Ms. R. Hello.
Sorry. First of all, thank you for doing this, and thanks for letting me join. So if it's okay, I'll give you a little bit of history here. So my husband's from Mexico. We've been married for 8.5 years. He got status on an I-130 through marriage. And it started out with conditional residency in 2018, and he obtained permanent residency in 2021. My concern is, like, he's not politically active or anything, but I am somewhat politically active. I'm part of a women's organization, etc. Right? So this is just for some background.
Okay.
Now, for my husband, as far as like his interactions with the law, he had prior to getting his green card, he had speeding over statutory limit of 15 to 20 miles per hour, plus no valid driver's license at the time. That was paid, taken care of. That was in 2004. And then he got, in our state, we had driver's licenses that were allowed for undocumented immigrants. So he got that in around 2013, and then he got a subsequent traffic violation for rolling through a stop sign, paid that, got it taken care of. And then the last time he got in trouble was after he got his residency. We were coming back from my parents' house. They live out in like the country, and we live in the suburbs of Chicago. So we got pulled over. He was speeding. They asked us if they could search the car for drugs. So they had a drug sniffing dog come and search the car. Nothing found, obviously. He got a warning then. We was let off with a warning for that speeding ticket. So he never actually got a ticket. So my first question for that is, if and when he applies for citizenship, do we need a transcript for the warning in order for him to apply for citizenship?
No.
No, cool, excellent, because I don't really remember what county we were in. Second, so he is getting more serious about applying for citizenship. He's been able to apply for a while, but I'm wondering if there's stigma on the part of the government, like if you're eligible for citizenship and then you don't apply right away, is that looked down on? I know they're pretty traditional in their values and thoughts. So
No. If you listen to this show, you'll hear we talk to people who haven't applied. They were eligible 25 years ago. It's all good.
Okay. And the other concern that we have is if he is getting more serious about applying, but now I have concerns, like if he applies now based on how he got his residency. I mean, we did an interview and everything. I know that there's concern about people who didn't do interviews for the green card, but he did an interview. I'm just concerned that this particular administration, now obviously you're not a fortune teller, right? But I'm concerned that the administration might say, well, the way that you got here, no, you can't have citizenship. So there's concern about, well, should he file now, or should we just wait it out until after the 4 years is up and then try?
So, when did he come to the United States?
Oh gosh, I don't remember he's been here for a long time. He was here like, I don't know, almost like 8 or 9 years before we got married, and we got married in 2016. Well, no, it had to be longer than that because he got his ticket in 2004, so like early 2000s.
Did he come on a visa?
No, he was undocumented.
So how did you get? So did he have to consular process? What did you do? A 601A?
I don't remember what the document that we went through was, but
so just to back up, so did he have DACA?
no,
Why didn't he have DACA?
he didn't grow up here. He came here undocumented.
I know, but that's what DACA is for people that came here undocumented. But so he never had.
He wasn't a kid. He was like 19 when he came.
Got it. Okay. So walk me through the process. So you guys get married, and then you would have filed an I-130 petition, right?
Yeah, and we got the conditions, or we were able to get him to stay. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
You're jumping ahead too far. Okay.
Okay.
So did you guys have an attorney help you get your husband his green card?
Yes.
Did your husband get his green card in immigration court, or did he get it? Did he leave the United States?
He left.
And he went back to his home country and waited for an interview.
Yes. He didn't stay so he wasn't there for a long time. He was allowed to stay here. So he was able to get a waiver to stay here. He ended up going back though because his mom was dying. So we sent him back in advance of getting the appointment, knowing that we weren't sure when we would actually get the appointment. So he was there for a few months, and his mom passed away in that time. We got the appointment, and
the waiver got approved, and then he went back to the embassy, and then later on, his green card came in the mail.
Well, yes, yeah, his conditional residency card, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So it sounds like he had unlawful presence. He had an unauthorized entry. It was all forgiven when he got his green card after consular processing, after the waiver was approved. And your concern is, Jim, is it safe to apply for citizenship given the way he got his green card?
Yes.
I would say no. I would say go ahead and file. I mean, if you want to be 100% careful, maybe wait, but I would think he's safer as a citizen than he is as a green card holder. So I would be full steam ahead, I think.
Yeah, I guess I'm just concerned that I know that they're like taking extra looks at
they can
at
always
cases where it's been through marriage.
They can always go back to the original, his whole history. But this is a pretty solid and tried and true way of people getting an immigrant visa. I don't think they can retroactively go back.
Okay, cool. All right, and then one final question. So when we were in the interview for his official permanent residency card, the officer had I know you've talked about before that like the situation with the officers, sometimes they're really nice and sometimes they're not, and sometimes the nicer ones are scarier. So yeah. she was fairly nice, but pretty skeptical for obvious reasons, right? Like that's her job to be skeptical. But we didn't leave that appointment feeling one way or another. We weren't sure if he would get it or not based on that appointment. And there was one question in particular she asked about, which was interactions with the law. She said on her side that she could see some other case or something that he had with the law stating that it was like a curfew violation, which would have been, he would have had to be a minor in order to get that. And he wasn't ever here when he was a minor. And we have she couldn't really tell us anything about it because it's the federal government, right? They're not going to just disclose stuff to us. So all she really gave us was that it seemed to be a curfew violation. We think that it's in the same county as his like speeding tickets and stuff, but we don't really know. And I feel like we're looking for a needle in a haystack because it's not something that actually belongs to him. So do you have any suggestions for how we go about fixing something that we don't know about?
So one thing that might be helpful is you can do an FBI background check. It's private. You have him fingerprinted, and then you send it off to the FBI, and they'll do a background check, and that might help you find what's in there. You might also do a Freedom of Information Act request for his entire immigration file. I would do that before applying for citizenship anyway, given his history. And since you have time to wait, just go ahead and do both those things, and then we can go from there.
Okay, so you said a private FBI background check and then do an FOIA for his immigration stuff. Where do we need to go for the FOIA for the immigration stuff? Like, is that the
There's a,
Department of Homeland Security website or like what? Yeah? Okay.
it's an online form
Uh-huh.
called a G. Oh, now I can't think of it. 6039. What is it? FOIA, USCIS, G639. Yeah. I think. Let me make sure.
Okay.
Yeah, 639. G639.
Okay.
And just say you want all. It should be filled out by him, and he should say, "I want all immigration documents."
Okay, it's like all immigration documents. Okay, excellent. Thank you so much for your help.
Good luck.
I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and thank you.
All right. I think our internet around here sort of sucks. It's when I do the shows on Thursday and Friday afternoons, it's always sort of garbled. Arnett says, "Am I still allowed to apply for citizenship if me and my husband have been on and off for 10 years?" Yes, you can. If you had your green card for 5 years, and you're gonna have to explain the relationship and stuff if that's how you got your green card. But yeah, you can apply. Any advice for paralegals who want to work with immigration law? Well, number one, I would watch this show. I think you can learn a lot by watching the show. Carolina, one of our awesome paralegals, watches the show every day, and I think the people that do learn a lot. I would say that for us, we like to see that people have a connection to immigrants when hiring paralegals, like they've been through the immigration process, or they love someone who's an immigrant, or they've even lived overseas. So I would think that right now is a good time to try to find a job as a paralegal in immigration law. Doulce, I got my green card through marriage. It expired after 2 years. I was supposed to get a new one. Do you know why the green card is taking so long to process? Yes, you probably want to go ahead and file for citizenship. That'll get things moving. If everything is good with the marriage, I would go ahead and do that. File the N-400. That'll get things moving. It takes 2 years and 2 months for everybody else. Angel says, I have DACA with AP. Can my U.S. citizen daughter petition for me when she turns 21? She's 17 now. Yes, she can. You probably want to get that advanced parole part taken care of, although I think we heard that they're starting to refuse entry to people. So you got to be careful with that now. Hopefully you already came and went. Sanvi says, if my daughter will petition for my husband, he has DACA and did advanced parole. He has his 40 credits. Does he need a co-sponsor? No. Will traffic tickets be something to worry about? Most likely not. So he has 40 quarters of working in the United States. Traffic tickets most likely are the least of his problems. So as long as you have proof that they were all taken care of, Sanvi, good to go. Fatty, can I obtain a real ID using my fingerprint receipt, or should I wait for the social security number? I have no idea. Maybe someone in the comments will know about that. Laura said, the job market is tough right now, but immigration and nursing is probably a hotter market right now. All right, let's go to somebody who wants me to run for office in 2028. Hello.
Jim, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I was hoping you would recognize the name as soon as you said someone wants you to run for office. I ran to my phone.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much. So I have a question for you, and I feel that once I bring up the terminology, I want to see your handsome face. This is regarding to false claim of citizenship.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I don't know if I messed up or not. I don't know. I'm an individual who has been out of status in the U.S. for a long time. We spoke several weeks ago, and I wouldn't blame anyone for trying to remember it. But I'm in the process of getting all of our paperwork. It's not filed yet, but all being prepared. And I had to fill out a questionnaire that our attorney had us do. And and one of the questions is, it's obviously a 5485 or a different form of it, I would guess. And in the question of, have you ever claimed to be a citizen? I don't know if I have. I may have at one point or another for something that wouldn't be relevant in any kind of benefit, government related thing or another. It may have been, I think one time I took out a personal loan and I may have, check the box. My question for you is, realistically, how big of an issue is this going to possibly be? And I was wondering if you could explain it a little bit more depth. I've heard different things. I know I'm going off on a thing here, but I've heard that, this is only really an issue when you're talking when you're claiming to be a citizen to collect some kind of government benefit. Others say any other time. Is this up to the officer at a possible interview in the future? I'm just trying to give you as much context as I can, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
So let's look at. I'm looking at the N400. I'm pulling it up.
And by the way, this is for an adjustment of status on a 485.
Yeah, the questions are the same though. That's true. You're right.
Gotcha.
So wait a minute. So did you enter? You had a visa,
I did.
and you overstayed, and now you're applying for citizenship based on what? Marriage, or your kid turned 21, or what?
Based on marriage.
Okay.
So while you're looking that up, I add a little more context to it. I came into the U.S. when I was very, very young. I was very little. And I've been here for a very long time. And only now, I don't want to go on about that too long, but only now we've decided that it's time for me to get caught up on that. My wife and I have been married for many, many years. And I've just never really felt the need, I guess, for doing this.
So should have taken care of this 4 years ago.
I should have taken care of it over 20 years ago, if I'm being honest.
Have you ever falsely claimed to be a U.S. citizen? Yes or no? So it doesn't distinguish between getting a benefit or not, getting an immigration benefit or not. The question is, have you ever falsely claimed to be a U.S. citizen? So I think you have to ask yourself in your heart of hearts. You can only answer yes or no. You can't answer, I'm not sure. If you answer yes, you won't get a green card, and that's a deportable offense. If you answer no, then it's not. So, if you say, I'm not sure, they might ask you to go back to that bank and try to track it down, or they might subpoena the record. So I think I'd be very careful how I answered that question.
Yeah. And I know as an attorney, you wouldn't exactly, especially on an internet show, you're not going to say, well, you should definitely say no. I totally understand.
It's the same thing I would say if we were sitting across from each other in a confidential room.
Which would be?
Just what I said. If you're 100% sure that you made a false claim to U.S. citizenship, then I would mark yes. If you're not 100% sure, I suppose you could say maybe, but there's consequences to that. Right.
And I feel like if I were given the opportunity, my wife and I were given the opportunity for an interview, I feel like that person-to-person contact, that may be a more appropriate time to explain that maybe, right?
Well, I think May leads to a discovery request for records from that bank account.
Okay. Yeah, you see, that's something I never crossed my mind. So if I say, I think I did it one time, she might say, then I want to see what you did or not.
Well, if you said you did it one time, that's probably enough.
Right. Right. I've always been very cautious about this. Like I said, look, I have a legit social security number. I have a legit driver's license. I've lived my life as a U.S. citizen since I have been here.
Don't ever say that again. You haven't lived your life as a U.S. citizen because you're not a U.S. citizen. You just did it again. Don't ever say you lived your life as a U.S. citizen because you haven't.
Well, I meant that. Okay, not in the literal sense, but I meant that more of as in the lifestyle I have carried has been reflective.
I understand, but you see the problem.
I do. I see exactly what you're saying.
All right, good luck, brother.
Thank you.
All right. He should probably ask his lawyer about that too. Amy is here. Hello.
Hello. Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for doing this.
Of course. What's up?
So I'm married to a U.S. citizen.
Okay.
Is it a good idea to apply now for the I-130 and I-130A, given that I'm still waiting for I-612 to be waived for the 2 years, and I have a pending asylum application?
Yeah. So if you have a pending asylum you're married to a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
And what basis of the waiver did you do? Hardship waiver? Did you ask
hardship?
Did you ask your country for a no objection letter or no?
No.
And what kind of a program were you in?
I was on a 6 weeks program funded by the U.S. government. I came here for 6 weeks to study English, and I went back, but I never finished the 2 years. I
Yeah.
came back on a tourist visa. That was 10 years ago.
And you overstayed?
I applied for asylum before I overstayed.
So your asylum case has been pending for like 10 years?
No, it went to the court, and then court dismissed during Biden administration when they were dismissing people who are not criminal to take care of the criminal. So we got dismissed, and I applied again in 2023, and then in 2024 married a U.S. citizen and applied for I-612 to get a waiver first. But is it a good idea for to apply for the I-130 and I-130A now, or once I get the waiver, I apply for everything?
Yeah, so you can definitely file for the I-130 now if you want. It doesn't really do you much good, right? It doesn't give you any protections or any, basis to stay here. As you know, it's the 45 that gets you the status, and you don't want to apply the 45 till the waiver is approved, right? So
Yeah.
I think it's a close call. Either way is fine. If you want to file the I-130 and the I-130A now, do it. If you don't want to, I don't know that it gets you much if you do.
Okay, I will wait.
Thanks, Amy.
Times. Thank you so much.
Have a good day.
You-
All right. Let's go to Mike X. Hello. Mike X.
Hello, Jim. Can you hear me?
Yes, buddy.
Good morning. Yes. I do have a question about changing address.
Go for it.
Yes, hello. Yep. I did move from February 1st. I was temporarily till April 14th. I was moving temporarily. I did change ONS with the USCIS. I did change my address. And next time I did move temporary 7 days. Do I need to change my address with the USCIS or no?
You're going to be gone for just 7 days?
No, I left that apartment. I moved for 7 days with my friends. Now I have a new lease, and I will change with the USCIS. But my question is about the 7 days
Don't worry
that
about
I
it.
live with my friends.
No, you're fine. Thanks, Mike. I think he's breaking up a little bit. Z-Man is here. Hello, Z-Man.
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
So, long story short, I married a Venezuelan immigrant.
Okay.
About a little bit over a week ago. She came here in
Congratulations.
Thank you. She came here in 2015
Yep.
under a tourist visa. She then applied for asylum, and in 2021 she applied for TPS.
Yep.
Per her lawyer's suggestion, because she got an asylum date for 4/16 that since got postponed again. But per her lawyer, we rescinded that because the idea being that she was definitely going to get denied.
Okay.
So
why was she definitely denied?
Her lawyer kind of implied that nobody from Venezuela is getting those. It has a 70% fail rate basically
for asylum from Venezuela. Yeah. That's actually incorrect. The Venezuelans are getting asylum at a higher rate than any other country.
Oh boy.
But anyway, okay. But my question is, the reason I asked, is there anything in her old asylum case that was false, fraudulent, or misleading?
No.
Okay, good. Okay. So now you guys are married. She's hanging out. She's on TPS, not much else. You're a U.S. citizen.
Yeah. So the one concern was she has her EAD is through her asylum.
Yeah.
So she's going to reapply for that through her TPS.
Yeah.
And then again, once we decide to file a I-130 and an I-45.
Why haven't you filed that already?
Well, we are soon, but it's one of those things where we didn't even get our marriage certificate yet.
Okay.
But when that comes,
TikTok, let's get it on file.
So it's one of those immediate things.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so it's not an issue if, let's say, then like a week or so later, she changes her name to my name, or
As far as whether you should do that before or after you file?
yes.
I mean, my general advice, Z-Man, is that she shouldn't mess with her name until she becomes a citizen. I would just leave her name alone until she becomes a citizen in 3 or 4 years.
Okay, and then change it.
Change it, yeah, because you change it for free when you naturalize.
Okay. Okay, and so then, would you foresee any issues if she does, there's a lapse in her EAD?
No, just she wouldn't be able to work.
Okay, but so then if she did work, that'd be bad. If there was a lapse in her EAD.
Well, the employer might not let her keep working, but if she did keep working, it'd be forgiven because she's married to you. And if the marriage case gets approved, then the work is forgiven. And
is there, would you foresee any sort of like delays or anything that would cause her to be out of status if her TPS runs up in September and we apply now?
No, because you're going to apply long before then. Hopefully, maybe you'll even have her green card before then. But no, she's good to go to stay here. Yep.
Okay. Cool. I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Z-Man. See you, buddy. All right. Let's go to Joanna. Hello, Joanna.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Happy Holy Thursday.
Same to you.
Okay. The reason for me to be in a show, I got a official jury summons, and I have been getting this for many, many years, and I never told it to them I am a citizen, because to be in a jury, you need to be a citizen, right?
Correct.
And every time I call them and I say, excuse me, I can't because I'm not a citizen. And they tell me, oh, just call the number call the number and tell them you're not a citizen of the United States, but tell your country of citizenship. And they keep sending me every year, and I keep doing the same thing. And this year they said to me I have to be on a standby service for a week. It start on May 12th. And I'm kind of like, this time they didn't give me a lot of options also. And they said the failure to respond can result in fine, incarceration, or both. I have a removal order. It's kind of close by the administration. And I got my bona fide letter from under U visa. I cannot be messing with stuff, and I'm not a citizen to go to participate in a jury. Where did they find this information?
Probably your driver's license.
Oh, but my driver's license, they don't tell I am a citizen.
So here's the problem. The problem is that you haven't handled this properly. You should have written them a letter by Federal Express the first time they notified you of your jury duty. Calling doesn't do jack squat. Calling is the reason why you keep getting this notice every year, right? So you should have, for lots of reasons, you should have documented it in writing. So now you need to write it. Now you need to document it in writing, and you need to write them a letter to whoever sent that to you. Just put supervisor at that address, send it by Federal Express so you have proof of delivery. Say, my name is Joanna Smith. I am a citizen of the Philippines or India or wherever it is. I am not a citizen of the United States. You stupid people keep sending me this notice that I should appear for jury duty. I have told you repeatedly, every time you sent this to me, I've called you to tell you that I am not a U.S. citizen. I am not eligible to serve on a jury. You should have taken me off the jury rolls 10 years ago when I first told you this. For some reason, you refuse to do that. I will not be appearing because I cannot serve on a jury because I'm not a U.S. citizen.
Yeah, and of course, I'm not going to go there. They said to not instructed anything in person unless you have to do so. And I cannot be messing going to courts for no reason. Also because I am between two situations right now. I
Right.
have a removal, it's closed by the administration, and I have the bona fide letter. Just, it's nothing resolved yet.
So again, you got to tell them in writing that you're not a citizen and you can't appear. That's all you need to do.
Okay, I will.
Good
Thank you
luck.
so much,
Bye,
and
Joanna.
the happy Easter.
Thank you. Thank you. You too. All right. I'm going to go to Agal and then Chiquita. Hello, Agal. Agal, are you there? You're on mute, Agal.
Hey Jim, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi. So Jim, I'm trying to apply for my stepmother's residency since I recently became a citizen, but I don't know what documents to provide, given that she didn't formally adopt me, but she did get married to my dad about like 20 days before I became 18. So I'm a little stuck as to what I should, include in the application. I don't even have any evidence.
18 or 16?
18, just before I turned 18.
Yeah, that has to happen before you turn 16, not 18.
Whoops. Okay. So what are my options then?
Does your dad have a green card?
No, I just submitted his application.
So you can't do anything for her until he gets his citizenship, then he can apply for her.
Not even while he's a green card holder?
He could as a green card holder. Is she in the United States or outside the United States?
They're outside the United States.
Yeah. So he can come here, get his green card, and apply for her, and then he can get a reentry permit to go back and wait for her. But yeah, if the relationship didn't occur before you turned 16, then she's not your stepmother for purposes of an immigrant visa.
So even though they had been living together, but they just formally got married when I got 18, doesn't? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you so much.
All right. Yep. Dami says that I'm impressed she gets called for jury duty that often. I once had a jury trial down in the city of St. Louis, and there was some poor bastard. He got called there every 6 months because they have so few jurors in the city. I'd love to serve on a jury, by the way. Chiquita is here. Hello. Chiquita, you're on mute. All right. Speaking of jurors, did anybody watch Juror Number 2? Clint Eastwood directed it. It's a fun little movie. It has an interesting hook to it, and plus it has my favorite guy in there. I don't know if you know him. His name is J.K. Simmons. He plays Peter Parker he plays J. Jonah Jameson in the old Spider-Man movies, and he was on Law and Order forever. He looks just like our friend Jim Merlo from law school, so we call him Jim Merlo. But he was also in that movie Whiplash, which I still haven't seen, but Hema says it's great. I need to watch that. But Juror Number 2, it's a good one. It's like an hour and a half, 45 minutes. It's fun. And then, of course, whenever I think about jury movies, there's 12 Angry Men, of course, and then there's the OJ series that they did on FX, and there's one episode where the jury's just about to lose their mind. Yeah. Oh yeah, Hina saw it. She liked it. All right. Let's go to Aman. Hello, Aman.
Yeah, hello, Jim. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Sir, I have a question. It is regarding I'm a green card holder for last 10 years, and I came on H-1B in US in 2011, and I filed my green card through my employer in EB2 category, and I got I-140 approved by 2013. So once I got I-140 approved, I have a I-140 in my hand, and then I got married to my ex-wife. And when I got married to her, she asked me, her priority date was current. She was EAD green card, but she didn't receive her green card by that time. But I married before she got her green card. I got married to her, and we both got a green card, like kind of together.
Okay.
So when I got a green card, I got a green card in E27 category. So I have an E27 as a derivative of my wife. So when and then I got a green card, but unfortunately, my divorce case, she filed for divorce also after 5 or 6 months of marriage. But when my divorce has started, when she served in paper, I called the USCIS. Hey, my wife has filed for divorce. I don't know what should I do at this point of time. She said, is your divorce is finalized? There's a 2 line of USCIS helplines. They said, no. But then I said, no, it is pending. It is in the process. What should I do? She said, okay, when it's finalized, then please let us know. Then I said, okay, but it didn't get final. But I got I-145 approved by that time, and my green card got approved. My divorce was pending. After 4 months of my divorce, like before the finalization of 4 months, I got my green card 4 months, in advance. Then I didn't call the USCIS because I already got my green card.
Okay.
Now, but for the third person, it looks like that I married for the green card, but it's not the case. I was okay in my H1B, rather than this situation. So I'm a green card for last 10, 11 years. Uh, it's very short marriage, like 4, 5 months, but I have like 500 photographs of all the relatives came to US for the marriage and everything, and few more proofs. Now the situation is, and along with this, so there's a no GC interview happened at that time. They didn't conduct anyway. They just give us the green card, and then after that, I didn't contact the USCIS that now I got my green card and now you have given me or something like that. So now this is what my first question. This is my first question of situation. And second is, I got a speeding ticket in Missouri, in Montgomery County, in St. Louis, near St. Louis, and I was driving at more than 40% of a speedy limit. So they gave me 2 days jail.
Wow.
On speeding ticket, yes, and it's almost like 11 years ago. I got that, and I was not arrested because I was not due. I was not in DUI. I was sober, but I was down the hill and my car speed crosses 105. So they told me, then they asked the attorney. Nothing has happened at that time, but after 4 or 5 months later, they asked me if you come to jail, it would be over. Then I have fought the case, but I lost. They said, okay, I'll go to jail for 2 days and it's over. But it's almost like 11 years ago, and this is what my second thing. So now, should I file for naturalization? By seeing my situation is, that this is what happened in my life, where I came on H1B and never be illegal. I came through H1B legal all the time, and my date would be current probably like 2 years ago or 4 years ago or 3 years ago. My original date when I filed my EB2 green card category through my employer, but I already got my green card through my ex-wife. So what should I do? Like, should I go for naturalization or not? If not, should I stuck to my green card throughout my life and 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 get married to, I have actually my girlfriend, she lives in Canada. I just married to her and bring my daughter here. I have a daughter also, and just bring them to US on a green card and start just living throughout my life on a green card.
So first of all, don't trust Canadian women. That's all I have to say. I'm just teasing you, I'm just teasing. Why are you worried about why are you worried about the way you got your green card? I'm not understanding what you're worried about.
Okay, so why I'm worried about, because I got married in 2013 October. Okay, and she filed for divorce in April 2014.
Yeah.
And then when she filed for divorce in April 14, I got my green card in June. My green card approved in June 2014 after 2 months.
And they didn't know about the divorce?
Who, USCIS? No, how they know? Because then I called them USCIS and told them about that. They said, is your divorce finalized? I said, no. Then okay, when God finds it, then you can call us. Then I said, okay. Then, but
no one's gonna believe that.
I don't know. That's what I did, because I know only the 2 levels of USCIS number. I just called them. But
right.
Now I'm realizing I should write a letter to them or some kind of proof or FedEx receipt, because I am not attorney.
I share your concern now. I would not apply for citizenship with this administration in office.
Okay. So probably I wait for 4 more years. Let's see later on, something like that.
Yeah, and you could apply. You could apply for a green card holder. You could apply for your spouse as a green card holder. It's just going to take a while.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a while. Actually, you know what? I did one more little mistake. Like I filed for naturalization in month of January this year, and then because I got the doubt, because one of my friend and attorney has said don't file for naturalization, I withdrew it. And just today I got my acknowledgement of withdrawal that I
Yeah.
withdraw.
I think that I'm comfortable with that. I would just sit tight. Thanks, Aman. I got to go. That'll do it for today's show, everybody. Thanks to Aman and all the guests who came on and told their interesting stories. Love our Canadian viewers of the show. We probably need some sayings. The Jamaicans have all the best sayings, like one up and one love, or big up and one love. We need to come up with a slogan for the Canadians, and I think it's got to have an O sound in it. I don't know what it would be, but it has to have an O sound in it. All right, everybody. Have a great day. I will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. What are we going to do tomorrow? Let's take a look. Oh, no show tomorrow. No show tomorrow. So we'll do a show on Saturday some point, probably at 10:30 on Saturday will be our next show. Nor has tutoring, and I'm on card details. So we'll do a show from the car on Saturday, 10:30 a.m. If you want to ask me a question, text the word show to 314-470-3300, and you get in the waiting room. We'll text you out the link on Saturday morning. Have a great night, everybody. Hina, thanks for your help, and big ups to all the Yardies. Bye, guys. I'm great about that, other than trying to help people who are